People often confuse sex with love, but mating is what animals do. Love is something humans make uniquely their own. Our bodies are animal, but we are animals with reason. That is where the difference between mating and love begins. Mating is an instinctive act for reproduction. Dopamine surges. The body responds. Genes copy themselves. We must clearly separate two concepts. Feeling, a hardware-level instant reaction. Emotion, reason plus instinct interpreting that feeling. Mating needs feeling, immediate reaction. Love needs emotion, interpreted meaning. When reason interprets feeling through trust, love begins. Love is trust and empathy accumulated over time. Ideal order: belief, hope, love, sex, bond. Reverse or skip this, and it is closer to mating. Biologically, the reverse often happens through alcohol or hormones. But it only elevates to real love with prior compatibility. Without that, it remains fragile mating. In a conservative time, I told my juniors, trust, then hope, then love, and only then sex. The first question is, can I trust this person? False connection can be sophisticated. They mirror your feelings, but the goal is access. Empathy used as a tool to erode your boundaries. Does this person treat me as an end, or as a means? Signals: boundary erosion, sudden demands, leverage. Trust is not a gift. It is confirmed over time. Neuroscience shows consistent patterns, large individual variation. A woman's orgasm is typically longer, activates wider brain regions, and involves more complex neurochemistry than a man's. Male: point concentrated, termination event. Female: distributed network, sustained experience. Male: pleasure rises, spinal threshold, ejaculation, prolactin shutdown, refractory period. Female: plateau, waves, multiples possible. Minimal refractory. Clitoris as primary hub plus internal structures create full body potential. During the long afterglow, hippocampus and amygdala encode rich emotional and somatic memory. Oxytocin stays elevated longer. Same VTNAC reward circuit, but oxytocin plus memory systems create deeper relational imprint. This is why orgasmic experience can condition more strongly in many women. Male orgasm memory is often a snapshot that fades faster after shutdown. Female: for full experience imprinting during afterglow. Bad actors know these differences and exploit them through intensity escalation and conditioning. Bad actors use intense stimulation to reset the brain's reward baseline. Procedures like sunflower surgery, bead implants, or extreme piercing exist. Repeated extreme stimulation can condition dependence and cause damage. This is not love, it is mating used as subordination. Once trust is built, romance begins. Romance is not a result. It is a process. Laughing together, playful words, ease in silence. All of this is romance. Linguistic play and emotional attunement retune the brain. It becomes more sensitive to oxytocin and dopamine. The serotonin system begins shifting toward lasting stability. This stage is neurologically decisive. Relationships that fully live the romance stage experience stronger bonds and deeper satisfaction later. You do not have to rush. Rushing makes you lose. Romance is a journey. Easy come, easy go. Sex and love both use the brain's reward circuitry. It's all just hormones. Yes, but the order and context in which they release completely transform the quality of the experience. Dopamine: intense wanting and novelty, common to mating and early attraction. Serotonin: drops early, OCD-like obsession, then stabilizes with trust, calm, lasting peace. This transition is the core difference between pleasure and love. Oxytocin: trust, empathy, bonding, often longer in women. Vasopressin: pair bonding, protection, mate guarding, key for male attachment. Endorphins: deep ease after climax and sustained closeness. Prelude of trust plus romance must play first. For this neurochemical ensemble to resonate properly, the prelude of trust and romance must come first. A climax without a prelude is closer to noise. Hormones amplify emotion. They do not replace it. Even starting in reverse can climb toward bonding with real compatibility. But that road is riskier, and the falls hurt more. Sex is not completed in one day or one act. Embrace, kiss, skinship, intercourse. Each stage is preparation for the next. Days of only holding. Nights that end with only kissing. That space creates romance. The most common mistake in sex is haste. A woman's body is closer to an entire landscape of pleasure than a single switch. Flow and rhythm matter more than intensity alone. The distributed network thrives on harmony. Consent is not a one-time checkbox at the beginning. It is continuous. Staying sensitive to every signal and naturally checking in is the baseline of a good connection. For a man, being good at sex means enduring and regulating stimulation. Reaching threshold is biology. Controlling the speed is skill and intention. Kegel strength. Start-stop technique. Varying speed and density. Technique is secondary to intention. I will not finish quickly. I will stay with her, so she can fully feel and deeply encode this. This intention defines good sex. It expresses vasopressin's protective bonding. For a woman, being good at sex means knowing her own orgasm and responses. External clitoral, direct, intense, accessible. Internal/related, deeper, whole body, longer afterglow. Multiples possible. Peak can bring temporary dissolving of ordinary consciousness. When a woman knows her responses and can communicate them, real sex begins. Orgasm is not something she receives. It is something they create together and imprint together. Love is not a destination. Sex is not completion. Romance is a journey. It is the process of accumulating memories. Easy come, easy go. Connection without trust is not real connection. Pleasure without hope and romance does not last. Sex without romance is closer to mating than to love. Trust comes first. Hope follows. Love grows on that ground. Even in reverse, real compatibility can rise to bonding. But the strongest path honors the order. Sex arrives naturally when everything has ripened. Love leads the hormones. Hormones strengthen the love, never the other way around. I made this film because of the world I grew up in. In the conservative Korea of the 1980s, under a harsh regime, a woman victimized by sex was often treated as the sinner. Lives were destroyed, not only by violence, but by stigma. Human trafficking and forced prostitution cast long shadows across those years of rapid growth and tight control. I was 23 and still a virgin when I first understood sex, not through experience, but through theory and long conversations. In the military, I met women who had lived through the flower and willow world. They were frank, tired, and generous with their knowledge. Those conversations were a gift. They taught a young man what so many learn too late, or never learn at all. I have not spoken here about specific techniques of caress or performance, but that is not what this film needed to be. Today the chains are different. Fewer lives are forcibly ruined by sex. Far more are voluntarily derailed by it. Through confusion of mating with love. Through skipped trust. Through intensity mistaken for intimacy. Through the slow conditioning of the reward system. What was once systemic coercion has become, for many, a private form of self-sabotage in the marketplace of desire. That is why I wanted to say these things. Trust first. Romance as journey. Love leading the hormones. Not the other way around. If this film saves even one person from confusing the two, it has done its work. Romance is a journey. Walk it with open eyes.